Chapter 24. A dream is a wish your heart makes? Carlos shrank back from his mother in fear. Cruella de Vil was annoyed, and when she was annoyed, watch out. She paced the length of their ballroom, her high heels clomping on the floor as her minions, Jasper and Horace, cringed in front of her. Cruella hadn't seemed to notice Carlos yet, but it was only a matter of time. "Where are the puppies?" she demanded. "Where are they?" "They're gone. They've disappeared," Jasper said, quaking, while Horace hid behind him. Carlos curled tighter into himself from where he was crouched against the wall. Cruella paced the room, her fur coat trailing behind her, as she waved her long cigarette holder and dusted the furniture with ashes. "Those puppies are mine! Mine, I tell you! Find them!" she raged. "Bring me all the puppies, or else!" Horace shook in his boots and wrung his hat. "We tried, but they're nowhere," said Jasper. "They're gone." "No!" screamed Cruella. "Carlos! Carlos! Carlos!" Carlos woke up drenched in sweat, fully expecting to find himself back at Hill Hall, the family estate, his mother looming over him, her diamond bracelets rattling in his face, her lips set in a perpetual scowl as she puffed smoke rings in his direction. But it was only Evie and Jay looking concerned. "You had a nightmare," said Evie. "You were yelling." "You woke us up," said Jay. Outside the window of the loft, two people were arguing over a trinket they found on the street. "That's mine." "No, it's mine." "Mine." "No!" The sounds of people squabbling always reminded Carlos of his mother, he realized. She would never stop haunting his dreams. It was only when his heart had stopped pounding that he realized that they were just three of them in the hideout. "Where's Mal?" he asked. Jay and Evie glanced around. "What?" said Jay. "What?" said Jay. "Oh my gosh," Evie gasped. "I was asleep until I heard you, Carlos. Did either of you see her?" They shook their heads. Evie dashed frantically around the room, overturning pillows and blankets. Mal's jacket and boots were missing too. Carlos scratched his head. "She's gone?" Jay flushed. "I was supposed to be keeping watch," he said, "but I was exhausted." "It's not your fault," Evie said. "Don't blame yourself." "But where would she have gone? And why didn't she tell us where she was going?" asked Carlos. An uneasy feeling crept over him. "I don't know," said Evie. "It's not like her to do this. She knows we would worry." Carlos looked around the dark loft. "Did she leave a note?" "Let's check," said Evie, and the three of them searched the entirety of the loft. Jay even picked through the trash, which was still full of rotten pirate debris. But they didn't find anything, not a word. Carlos sighed. This was why he had been reluctant to go back to the island in the first place. He knew something like this would happen. It always did. Then he heard Evie gasp. "Guys, check this out." She pointed at the floor. It was Mal's boot print, leading toward the door. But there was something strange about it. It seemed to have the slightest glow, almost blue. "Uma," said Jay, his eyes narrowing. The others nodded in agreement. Whatever this was, it wasn't good, but at least it looked like there were tracks to follow. Carlos pulled on his black and white leather jacket. "What are we waiting for?" he said. "Let's go. We've got to find her."